Thanks for all your concern and feedback last week when I had those very low centimeter measurements for my eyes. I have an update. Things are changing. Hi, I'm Jem and I'm following Jake Steiner's EndMyopia method to get back to 20/20 vision and life without glasses. It's all based on science, not magic, and if you want more information, I'll pop some links in the description down below. Just got a bit breezy. In my video last week, I shared with you that my centimeter measurements had gone down significantly. It was going pretty badly, and I wasn't quite sure why, although I was sure there was a reason. Well, I still don't know exactly what that was about, but good news, centimeter measurements are back up. In fact, they are very good. Better than they've been in a while. My right eye is at 50, 51, sometimes even 52 centimeters, and my left eye is in the very high 40s and scraping that 50. This is huge progress, but it is not somewhere where I haven't been before. I've spoken often about this plateau that I've been on, but it's not been a stable plateau. And I decided today to put all my vision measurements into Varicari's vision logging tool at long last, because I wanted to see how my eyes had done in graph form. What I had expected to see was good improvement at the beginning and then a long time of plateau and then improvement again now. That's not quite what I saw. Unfortunately, while I started strong, it wasn't even a plateau after that. It was a bumpy road with gaps, which I think probably goes somewhere into explaining what has been going wrong for me long term. I'm glad to see that now I'm hitting back to the highs that I have been hitting previously, even though I'm still not at my best measurements ever. But the improvements I've been seeing lately make me think that my best measurements ever are just around the corner. The most interesting thing about this exercise though was it meant that I went through my entire logbook, typing in what my measurements were, what the date was, and looking at what I've written I was doing at that time. And actually looking at the measurements not just for that day, but long term, and seeing what the trends were, what the differences were. And I realized some things that I hadn't consciously picked up on before. At the very beginning, I thought that my initial improvement was spurred on by a week away on the overland track. And while that might have helped with the ciliary spasm release, I noticed that after that walk, that hike, not a lot changed still immediately. At the beginning, my centimeters were stuck in the mid to low 30s a lot of the time, with what looks to me now as not much movement at all. I'm impressed that I kept going. There was one point in my logbook where I wrote that I drastically reduced my phone use. And that's the point in my journey when my centimeters started actually making progress. The difficult thing about reducing your phone use is that it creeps back up without your noticing, unless you are very, very vigilant. But my centimeter measurements seem to be going okay on the whole. I think my phone use crept up and that didn't help me. And then I moved here. Now at the time of the move, there would have been a lot of stress. I didn't measure a lot, and I know that I very much grieved leaving Tasmania. I was very sad for my initial few months here. And so I know that I was using my phone a lot because I was playing Simon's Cat Crunch Time so much, because when I wasn't using my phone to distract myself, I was just dreadfully sad. Looking at my logbook over that time, my centimeters went down. Definitely they went down. I stopped seeing touches of 50 centimeters in my logbook and I started seeing touches of 30 occasionally even, but it definitely started settling down into the mid to even low 40s again, after having those highs that were starting to see the 50s. After this, I settled down, stopped using my phone quite so much, stopped playing Crunch Time, and my centimeter measurements started getting nicely into the mid 40s again, even touching the upper 40s, so there was some progress being made there. But then I had a thesis to write and a leg injury to keep me in bed. So the centimeters went back down to those lower 40s. And so now here we are. My centimeters have been pretty rubbish. I went on this holiday, which I told you about. I've just been surfing for the second time in my life. The conditions were worse than yesterday. My centimeters went up a bit again to the mid to high 40s, but then a few weeks later they were back down, which was an interesting thing to observe because it means there's something about my lifestyle here that is holding me back. Not my eyes, my lifestyle. And it was quite infuriating. What was it? I was trying to make little tweaks. I did set up a actual desktop monitor screen to connect to my laptop, so I'm not using my laptop screen anymore, and I do actually think that was helping. But then Lent arrived and I gave up screen-based entertainment for Lent, which means my phone use has become very minimal indeed. On top of this, I have started doing a few eye exercises. Yes, I am. Not because I think they will cure my myopia, but I thought they might help my eyes to relax, and maybe if my eyes are always stressed out physically, maybe that would hold back my progress. But looking at this logbook, there have been other times when I've dabbled with eye exercises, and it seemed to help, but these times when I've dabbled with eye exercises are always the times when I'm feeling motivated and I am also giving up a lot of screen time, especially phone time. So it's tempting to think that the eye exercises is what's doing it. I'm still open to their efficacy over time. I'll keep doing them and I will see, but I don't want to jump to conclusions and say it's because of them, because looking at my logbook, these are also the times when I stop using my phone. And I didn't need glasses until I got my smartphone. And just looking through this logbook, the way my centimeters change based on my smartphone use, how they start going up when my phone use is minimal, and how they go down when I get back on my phone and get re-addicted to Simon's Cat Crunch Time. It's stark, it's so obvious. So I think the biggest challenge for me is not just to give up a lot of smartphone time. At the moment it is down around half an hour every day, and that's not necessarily of staring at it. That's my alarm goes off in the morning and I press snooze and I forget to turn the screen off because I'm sleeping, and so that stays on for like 10 minutes until the alarm goes off again. So I can get 15 minutes of screen time while I'm asleep, according to my phone. So I don't even know that it is half an hour, and it's certainly not half an hour of staring at my phone. It's doing something on my phone and forgetting to turn the screen off. So it's truly minimal screen use for phones. I'm on my computer even potentially a little bit more than usual, but the setup is so much better, including that extra monitor, which is so relaxing for my eyes. Oh my goodness, how have I lived without it for all this time? I hate looking at my laptop screen now. I always move things over to the monitor, the desktop monitor, because it's just so much more comfortable. So yeah, things are going well. Putting all my centimeter measurements into that vision logging tool didn't come up with the nice graph that I imagined I'd see, which was up, plateau, and then up. No, not at all. But it has taught me a lot, just that whole exercise of really going through my logbook in that amount of detail and really paying attention not just to what I've written or just to the numbers, but to both together. That's where we're at. I'll keep going. Oh my gosh, guys, get off those phones. And don't just tell yourself that you're off the phones. Like, check your screen time. Alright, well, that's it for me for this week. Just a little update. I'll keep you informed, as always. Take care, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.